Caitlin and welcome to another video. If you saw my last video, I just filmed a demo tutorial and showed you guys how to make the best hummus ever. The creamiest, dreamiest, silkiest hummus, which is going to make you never want to buy grocery store bought hummus again. But I will admit that when you make hummus at home, it does tend to make a pretty big batch. And even if you don't buy it at home, sometimes, you just have leftover hummus, maybe you're going on a trip, you need to eat it all up, you need to use it somehow, or you just want some lazy, easy meal hacks. This video is the video for you because I'm going to show you 5 different ways you can use leftover hummus. Some of these are more recipes and some of these are more food hacks, but I think a lot of us, when we think of hummus, we just do the typical dip it with crackers or pita bread or cucumber and carrot, when in reality hummus is very, very versatile. And while it may not be authentic, I am the queen of repurposing and reutilizing leftovers, and I have used hummus in very, very many a recipe. But today these are going to be 5 semi-appropriate recipes. I mean, I even put hummus in like my mashed potatoes, guys, but these aren't that crazy. They're all really delicious recipes that are cost-effective, budget-friendly, and are really easy for you to replicate at home. So without further ado, let's get into them. So first, we're going to start out by using our hummus on avocado toast. Now, I know and love avocado toast. It's pretty self-explanatory on how you're gonna make it. You're gonna take an avocado, cut it in half. This is how I like to cut my avocado in half. And if you want to, you can peel the outside skin, make a super fancy avocado roast, but regardless, this video is about hummus. So I am using some gluten-free bread. You can use any bread you want. You can use sourdough, you can use white bread, brown bread, all types of bread are welcome. And you're going to spread your hummus on your bread. Wow, so revolutionary. But, I feel like people kind of overlook hummus on avocado toast, but I really like it because then I can dice my avocado and I have a different textural element to my avocado toast. So the hummus is like a nice and creamy base that's full of plant-based protein and fiber, and it makes the meal a little bit more filling. And then I get nice chunks of avocado, and I really like the texture of whole avocado versus mashed avocado as well. So it's nice to have the hummus cover the entire toast, and then you get little chunks of avocado, and it makes it even better. And I like to top my avocado toast with lots of black pepper and a little sprinkle of sea salt. But obviously you can go crazy here. You can add microgreens, other seasonings you want. You could add hot sauce, that'd be really good. You can add sauerkraut, but the combo of hummus and avocado is key here. Next up, we are going to use our leftover hummus in an easy salad dressing. And guys, I do this so often. You only need 3 ingredients to make the salad dressing. We're going to start out, obviously, with our base of hummus. And then the hummus itself has great flavor, but salad dressing is usually a little bit more acidic. So we're going to add in some lemon juice and then Dijon mustard. And this helps to round out the flavor profile. You're going to mix all this together and it's going to form a pretty thick paste. And this is actually really ideal for like massaging into kale or even using as a dip. But if you want it as a vinaigrette or a runny or salad dressing, you're going to add water to it and continue to whisk it until it forms your desired consistency. And I usually make this in small batches and just use it on an as needed basis. But if you want to, you can make a large batch of this and then keep it in your fridge for up to a week too. And you can serve it on whatever salad or Buddha bowl or whatever kind of veggie bowl you'd like. Sometimes I even drizzle it over roasted sweet potatoes. I really love the tang of the Dijon mustard combined with the garlic hummus. It's really rich and creamy, and it actually makes your salad even more filling because the chickpeas, like I said previously, have fiber and protein, so they add an extra satiation level to the salad. Is that even a word? I don't know. But now we're moving on, and we're going to make hummus in pasta sauce. And hummus pasta is something that I've been making since college when I didn't feel like buying marinara sauce, but I still wanted to have pasta for dinner. So you're going to use whatever pasta you like. I'm using a gluten-free chickpea pasta here. And then you're just going to add it to a pot of salted boiling water and cook it according to the package instruction. And you can actually make this sauce in the same pot, but I just did it in a different pan because I wanted to multitask. But after the pasta is done, you can drain it, and then you're going to add your hummus with a tiny splash of water and mix everything together here until the hummus starts to thin out and form an even sauce. And you're going to continue to add water to this until it forms your desired consistency. And it may look a little chunky at first, but eventually it's going to thin out and become a nice looking Alfredo type sauce. And then here I'm adding in some sun-dried tomatoes and just mixing that with the hummus to sort of rehydrate them. I decided to use sun-dried tomatoes, but you can honestly use any veggie you want. You could use zucchini, mushrooms, literally anything. And then you're just going to toss in your cooked pasta that you drained and mix everything together until it's evenly coated in the sauce. I like my pasta pretty saucy, but not overly saucy. And you can obviously adjust the amount of hummus that you put into this depending on your sauce preferences. And last but not least, again, we're going to add a squeeze of lemon juice to this to help brighten the flavors of the dish. And because hummus is good, but it's not very acidic, it's nice to have the lemon. It doesn't really taste like lemon, but it adds a nice pop of flavor. And then to finish everything off, again, I'm topping with some black pepper, and fresh herbs I think are key to a yummy pasta. So I added some parsley here, but you could also use basil. That would be really delicious as well. I love making this pasta for dinner on busy weeknights because it's packed with plant-based protein and it's ready in less than 20 minutes. Okay, we're going to have hummus with potatoes. And I know hummus is a dip and you already know that, but I feel like people often overlook the potato. So I'm going to show you guys how I make my fries. I've shown you this a million times. I'm using russet potato, but I also really like dipping sweet potatoes in hummus. Either way, you're going to chop your potato up in a bowl and add some seasonings on it. My classic go-tos are smoked paprika and garlic powder, and then you cannot forget the pinch of salt. It does make a difference, but because the potato is moist, the seasonings will stick to it, and you can just mix everything together with a fork until it's evenly coated, and you can bake it in your oven. But today I was actually using my oven for something else, so I just decided to pop these in my air fryer. They actually cook a lot faster. I cooked it at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for only about 15 minutes, and they got really nice and crispy, so it's a nice faster alternative if you don't want to heat up your oven, or if you just want to cook a smaller batch of potatoes. And then you're just going to serve it with your hummus. I personally like to keep my hummus nice and thick. I think it's a good alternative to like a mayo dip, if you ever dip your fries in mayo. Sometimes I'll even roast whole sweet potatoes and put hummus as a dollop on top, but just don't forget about the combo of hummus and potatoes. All right, and last but not least, we are going to be making some falafel burgers, and this recipe uses hummus as a sort of binder for the burger instead of a flax egg. So you're going to start out by adding some onion, some parsley, and some cilantro into a food processor, and then blitz that all together until everything becomes nice and evenly chopped and broken down into tiny pieces. And then we are going to add in some cooked chickpeas, some gluten-free flour. I'm using brown rice flour, but you could also use an all-purpose blend, some cumin, some cayenne pepper, salt, and our hummus. And like I said, this is going to add a little bit of extra moisture to the burgers, add some extra flavor because it is garlic flavored hummus, and just help everything stick together nicely. So you're going to pulse all of this together, sort of break down the chickpeas. You want most of them to be broken down, but if you do want some chunks, you can keep them in there. You'll probably need to scrape the sides down a bit like I'm doing here, but then afterwards, once the batter is nice and even, it should look a little bit something like this. You want it to be pretty well broken down and nice and green from all the herbs. And then we're going to take this and divide the batter into 6 even patties. And I placed mine on a baking sheet lined with a silicone mat. You could also grease the pan or use parchment paper here if you'd like. But we're going to bake these in the oven for about 20 minutes, and then we are going to take them out of the oven and flip them so this way we get both of our sides nice and golden. Falafel traditionally is a lot of a smaller bowl. I do have a falafel recipe on my blog if you want to check it out. There's not hummus in it, but it should be golden on both sides. So that's what we're flipping our burgers, and we're going to pop those back into the oven. And then once they come out, they will look a little bit something like this. As you can see, we get a nice crispy exterior on the outside, but it's still pretty nice and fluffy on the inside. So I'm going to serve my burger in a pretty classic way for a veggie burger at least. I'm using a gluten-free burger bun. You can use a regular one if you want. I'm also adding some romaine lettuce for a little bit of crunch, our burger patty obviously, and then here I'm topping it with some tahini dressing or tahini sauce. This recipe is on my blog. I will link below if you want to check it out. I would highly recommend it. It's really good with falafel. And I'm also topping it with some tomato and pickled red onions. Then you just put that little top burger bun on top and you are good to go. You have a nice and yummy burger that has easily reused your hummus. And if you have leftover hummus, you could even put it on the burger as an additional spread. That would be pretty dang tasty too. All right, guys, there you have it. Let me know in the comments below what your favorite way to eat or use leftover hummus is. I am curious to see if you guys have any other ideas that I didn't include in this video. There are other few things that I do outside of this video, but these are the main ways that I use my own leftover hummus, but I'd love to hear how you guys do it too. Maybe I can come up with 5 more ways to use leftover hummus. Who knows? But if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, feel free to hit that little button right down there. I post 2 new recipe videos every single week, and I'd love to have you join the fam. We don't have a name like some other channels. I'm just not that cool. But yeah, I hope you guys liked this video, and But I hope you guys, regardless, I hope you guys liked this video, and I hope you have an awesome rest of your day, whatever time of day it is for you, and I hope to see you in the next one. Talk to you later. Bye.